morning. This is WGTV today. It is Monday, October 15th. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Yes, indeed. Glad you're with us today. Happy New Week. We get to start a whole brand new week all over again.
Yes, we do.
Can you believe it is 2 months and 10 days till Christmas?
Wow.
Wow,
it's that close.
Right. Yeah. Ho, ho, ho.
Has anybody started their Christmas shopping?
I'm sure they have.
Well, I haven't.
I haven't either.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I'm sure they have.
Some people are probably done, Wayne. You know, there's so many people that have Thanksgiving as their mark, that they want to have all their Christmas shopping done before Thanksgiving. I typically start well after Thanksgiving.
Yes, and you know, the Friday after Thanksgiving
that's a huge day, isn't it?
That is a big day. And, But, you know, I heard somebody, an economist, say
Yeah.
the other day, long live Milt Friedman, rest his soul. But I heard somebody say the other day that the Black Friday after Thanksgiving is not always
the best day to go.
To get a good deal. That it appears to be, and they always hype it as being.
Well, does he have a better day?
No,
oh,
no, he didn't. I didn't listen.
I didn't know if he made a recommendation.
Well, no, he didn't recommend. But I stopped listening.
The crowds are huge that day.
Yeah, but see, some people get into that.
I know they love it. It's the start of their holiday season.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, the music, the Christmas music, holiday music, and all that. So
yeah, I like to start mine on Lights Up Downtown, which is November 20th.
Oh, when is that, Ken?
That is November 20th.
Oh, okay.
And we will have all kinds of interesting things going on, and it'll be on our completed first block of Streetscape project.
Oh, the new street.
And they're still on target to finish up the 1st of November, so we're anxiously awaiting what's going to happen. Every day we post on the city's website and on the city's Facebook page updates of pictures that are happening every single day with the Streetscape project. And right now, actually, Wayne, on the city's YouTube channel and on our Facebook page, we have created a time lapse. It's of pictures and it's to music, and it's from the day we started the Streetscape project up until the last couple days.
Okay.
So you can turn that on, and it's like every few seconds it'll change, and you can see how the progress has happened from the first day until now.
Oh, wow.
And we'll keep adding pictures to that to keep it updated. But it's really neat to see what has transpired from day one until now.
I know. Driving in the downtown area, watching the dig up the street and replace all the pipe and
the infrastructure has totally been replaced on that one block.
Yeah, so that's amazing. It's going to be great.
It is, and that is where we'll actually have our light up downtown. And like I said, it'll be November the 20th. That afternoon. I think it starts at 4:30 or 5 o'clock. We'll give you more details a little closer to time. All kinds of activities and fun, exciting things going on.
Wow.
Different groups singing on the steps of City Hall. Trolley rides with Santa around downtown. Oh, it's just so nice. There's always hot chocolate and pretty interesting and fun, festive things happening that night. It's a great way to start your season.
I have a feeling November 20th is going to be cool that night.
I bet it will be too.
I bet it will. Just a feeling. Because I remember we've had some years that
it's been up and down, hasn't it?
All over the place. A little rain one year, a little temp. But this November 20th is going to be perfect.
It is. We just feel it in our bones.
Yeah, bones.
What else is going on, Wayne?
Today, the 15th, okay, it's today on the program. We have a full day for you. We have Gateway. Terry Jordan's going to be back with us again today and talking to us about Gateway, the Goldsboro area, Goldsboro-Wayne Transportation Authority. Rosemary Blizzard is our new director for the Board of Elections here in Wayne County. She's going to talk to us about registering and about
elections
voting.
coming up.
I'm telling you,
be prepared.
Right around the corner. November 6th is the date of the election, but you can, because of one-stop absentee voting or early voting, you can start voting on the 18th of October. Now, also we'll have a report from the Paramount Theater.
Oh, yes.
That will be coming up.
Director Sherry Archibald will be here to tell us what all's happening in the month of October, and let me tell you, she's got a long list of really neat things.
You know, I'll tell you, that is an amazing place.
It is. She has worked hard, her crew has worked hard, and the city has backed her 100%, and she does evermore have a good lineup for the fall.
I'll tell you what, it is just a great place to go. You talk about entertainment, you can get the best entertainment
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to go to Raleigh.
And it's
pay an
people
arm and a
coming
leg.
from all over the world to
Yeah.
come and perform at the Paramount Theater.
There are people coming from Raleigh to Goldsboro. To
How about
visit the
that?
Paramount. How about that? That's right. But you're right. People come from all over the world.
They do. And of course, we have a lot of great local entertainment as well that performs at the Paramount Theater. Many good things coming up, such as Ebb Scrooge, A Southern Fried Christmas, coming up in the second weekend in November at the Paramount Theater. And that is put on by local children through Stage Struck Children's Theater. And that is taking place the second weekend in November at the Paramount Theater. So we have a nice combination.
And you know what? Sherry's going to get on me about this, but I tell you, one of my favorite things of entertainment at the Paramount, and they're not scheduled anytime soon, I don't believe, but I love to watch and listen to the Malpas Brothers
Oh, yeah.
at the Paramount.
They
Those guys-
performed not too long
Yeah,
ago.
those guys are just, they're great.
Good
They're just
local
great.
talent that have been all over the world
They
too,
have.
and they've performed with Waylon Jennings and all kinds of people and toured with him, and they've had a great run and will continue to do wonderful things, I'm
And
sure.
Merle Haggard, too.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
just big fans of the Malpas Brothers.
Yeah, they're good boys, good
They
family.
Are. They are. It's a good family, good kids. They
That's
really
right.
are.
And today is City Council Day.
Today is.
Today is City Council
is
Day.
City
That's
Council
right.
Day.
We have work session this afternoon at 5 o'clock in the City Hall addition on the second floor. That's from 5 until 6 or 6:30. Then we'll start at 7 o'clock back in Historic City Hall. We will have the regular City Hall City Council meeting that starts at 7 o'clock p.m. in the City Hall Council chamber. So 5 o'clock work session, and at 7 o'clock City Hall will be the regular council meeting.
All
So
right.
join us there.
Excellent.
That is
Excellent.
tonight.
Tonight.
Tonight. Yes, sir.
I think it's tonight.
And it will be filmed, of course. So if you're not able to make it, you can see it on the city's YouTube channel and on our Facebook page as well.
There you go. And tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, the Wayne County Commissioners hold their meeting in the Wayne County Courthouse on the 4th floor, and you're invited to attend the briefing, which begins at 8, and then the regular meeting, which begins at 9 o'clock. And you simply get off the elevator and take two lefts, take a left, and then take another right, and you're right there. So you're invited to attend. Please do attend the City Council meeting if
On
you're
Monday,
within the city on Monday.
tonight.
Tonight, and then the tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, the Wayne County Commissioners meeting.
And that's the way they'll always fall. Monday night city,
Yeah.
Tuesday morning is county.
In most cases,
Yep.
we have the county commissioners have their meeting on the first and third Tuesdays.
As do we.
As do
The
you.
first and third Mondays.
Oh, okay, there you go. Which doesn't always fall,
Right.
but most of the time.
Most
it
of
does.
the time it
All
does.
right. Terry Jordan with Gateway
That's
is
right.
with us. He was with us a few days ago. We're going to hear from Terry again about the Goldsboro area, Goldsboro and Wayne County Area Transportation Authority. That's up next
That's
on
right.
WGTV Today. On WGTV Today, we're talking with Terry Jordan of the Goldsboro Wayne Transportation Authority. And recently we talked to Terry about the Gateway van system that picks up clients from the home. And Terry, you were explaining to us how that system has grown so much for you in the less than 2 years. It's almost doubled.
Exactly.
That is just fantastic. Let's talk about the fixed scheduled stops, the buses, if you will, that go on the fixed routes. How many of those buses do you have running now?
We currently have 5 fixed routes, which serve anything, a good majority of the city limits. Anywhere from Slocum Street, Berkeley Boulevard, all the way out to Highway 70, Walmart.
And you have 5 buses. How many of those are the longer buses, the big full-size buses?
Of those, we have 3 of the bigger 35-foot buses, and then we have 4 which are the 30-foot
30-foot buses.
buses as well. So,
And how many passengers can these buses hold at a time?
for the 35-foot bus, it's usually about 40 passengers seated and standing, and for the smaller vehicles, possibly about 28 passengers or so.
And do these buses, how full do these buses ever get? Because when I see them, sometimes I'll see there's a lot of passengers, and sometimes I'll see there's not very many at all.
Right.
Can we use more passengers?
Oh, we definitely can. And what we usually see is during the peak periods of time, which is generally like any time anywhere else, when people have to go to work in the morning or go to
Right.
school, or the times when they're coming back home in the afternoons, we see our fleet is usually pretty full, fairly full, not a lot of standees, with the exception of the Way Memorial route, which goes to the college. And so we usually have a full load going out to the college at least twice in the morning, and then once again in the afternoon when the students are returning home. We usually have that bus that's fairly filled to capacity.
Yeah.
The other routes are not as full, but we're actually carrying, on that side of the service, we're carrying close to about 400 passengers on an average on a daily basis now. So
Wow.
it's actually pretty decent, but we would love to expand that number as well and see that service grow and increase.
Well, I'll tell you, these buses run on diesel fuel, right?
Exactly.
And I have seen the price of gasoline just go through the roof, and I know it's got to cost a rider a fortune to ride these buses. How do you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, they pay so much money to ride these buses.
Once again, it's at a nominal fee to the customer.
Really?
$2 can get you an all-day pass, which will allow you to ride any vehicle anytime during the day.
Wait a minute. Did you say $2?
$2
Terry,
to a customer.
one person can ride a Gateway bus or a Goldsboro Wayne Transportation Authority bus all day
All day.
for $2.
$2. Go wherever they need to go as much as they need to ride for $2.
Is that right?
That's exactly right. And for our seniors, we have a half-price discount. The actual fare is $1, one trip, one way. But everybody that uses the system takes the benefit of the all-day pass. So, and for seniors, if they're just making one trip throughout the day, it's 50 cents.
Really?
So we've got a half price, and students as well. Excuse me, students and seniors have a discounted fare. And so it's at a very minimal fee to...
You can't beat that.
Exactly.
Man, you can't beat that. So somebody can ride the bus to work every day, and it costs them, well, if you've got $2, well, you don't want to get an all-day pass for $2. Well, yeah, you do, because you got to get back.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so it's the same price as going and coming if you purchase it at one time or purchase a trip each way.
And for a senior, it's half that.
Exactly. So like
What time do you get started?
Well, our service starts, our first buses pull at 5:30 a.m. in the morning, and our last buses leave the terminal at 5:30 p.m. and return to the terminal at 6:30 p.m. And we run on what's called an hourly headway, so each hour there's a bus leaving the station.
Now, I know that your schedules are posted online on the internet.
Our schedules are not currently posted, but we're working towards that.
Well, they used to be, okay. So you're updating those.
Exactly.
Okay.
We actually just went through a minor service change where we've changed some routes around to create some efficiency, also to provide service to the new senior center located on Ash and Claiborne.
Oh, yeah.
So at the time of changing the service to provide service to that location, we did some other minor tweaking. As a result, we're looking to update our schedules to a more user-friendly schedule. And once that's completed, I think the customers will definitely greatly appreciate that and benefit from that schedule.
So you have 5 buses running within the city, and they start at 5:30 in the morning at various locations.
That's correct.
And they run until...
Approximately 6:30 is when the last buses are pulling back into the station.
So conceivably, just about anybody anywhere in Goldsboro could ride the bus to work, ride the bus home, ride the bus to school, or back. Exactly. Ride the bus over to Aunt Martha's house and eat pie, or just go, or ride to the store, ride to the big box stores and do some shopping.
Oh, definitely. We have a lot of, like I mentioned earlier, the Rosewood Walmart is one of our destinations where our North End service travels up 70 to Rosewood and then back into Goldsboro. We have a lot of passengers utilizing the service going to the Spence Avenue Walmart.
Right.
So we definitely have passengers that utilize the service for the shopping services. We have a bus that goes directly to the Berkeley Mall, and also well utilized as well.
For only $2 a day, and for a senior citizen only $1, an all-day pass.
Exactly.
I have to ask, does anybody just get on and ride?
We have had a couple of customers that have just ridden all day around and around. We try to discourage someone staying on the same route continuously, but as I mentioned, you can ride all day if you wanted to. So what we do is we say, okay, if you've done a full complete trip, we would like and encouraging the individual to just try one of the other routes.
Try another bus.
Exactly.
But now they can get off that bus and get on another one, can they?
Yes, they can.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. And as long as they want to ride, we provide the service.
Can't beat that.
That's exactly
Okay, so if someone wants to know more about the bus service here in the city or the van service out in the county, how do they get in touch with you?
They can call our office directly at 736-1374, And extension 205 is our information line, which will give them information specifically on details for any use for the service at all, whether it be the bus side or the van side. And we also have our website at waynegov.com, and there's a link on waynegov.com that is specifically for Gateway Transit.
Gateway, exactly. All right, well, Terry, I appreciate you being in here with us today. That's Gateway Transportation, a part of the Goldsboro-Wayne Transportation Authority. Our guest has been Terry Jordan. Terry, thank you so much. I'm Wayne Alley for WGTV. On WGTV today, it is a Monday morning. It is the 15th of October, the middle of the month. Can you believe that?
No, I can't.
I can't believe it either. So let's make it something else. It's August 3rd.
Okay.
Happy New Day.
Confuse everybody.
Right, I'm confused all the time. No, it's October 15th. I'm not kidding.
Yes, it is. It is. And Wayne, what else is going on? We've got tons of things happening in the next few days.
Man, I tell you, I love the fall because there's so many things always happening.
It's something for everybody.
Yeah.
Tomorrow there's a blood drive actually at AT&T, which is located on US Highway 117. That is, let's see, from 12 until 4:30.
Okay.
A blood drive happening at AT&T facility. If you would like additional information, you can call 735-7201.
That's in the Neuse River Shopping Center. It's right there behind Freddy's, the little hamburger place there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and there's a chicken place there, too. I forget the name of it.
Yeah.
But next to Freddy's.
That's right. Let's see what else is happening. Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, Wednesday. Farmers Market.
Farmers Market.
Don't forget, we've only got a few more. Farmers Market from 9:30 until about 7-ish. And that will be at Herman Park in the parking lot. Local fresh produce, only for a couple more weeks.
Oh, boy.
Pretty fall flowers, mums and ferns and pansies, and they offer all kinds of pretty flowers and things for your garden, as well as local fresh produce.
Pansies.
Yes.
You know, that reminds me
Okay.
of the Gone with the Wind.
How?
Because when Margaret Mitchell wrote that, she used the name Pansy instead of Scarlett O'Hara.
Did she really? That was going to be the original name?
That was going to be the original name, Scarlett O'Hara. In fact, you'll hear Thomas Mitchell refer to her as Pansy at one point in the movie.
So that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, it was in the book too, but that was.
But they changed it to Scarlet.
Changed it to Scarlet. And we're all
Well, these
happy they did.
pansies I'm talking about are the ones you can plant in your yard. Yeah.
Well, okay. There
They'll
you
have
go.
lots of pretty things offering at the local produce market.
Oh, yeah. And I love mums. This time of the year, mums
Yep.
are so colorful, and there's so many different colors of mums and pansies. And by the way, if you were watching last Friday, we had Jessica Strickland in from the Cooperative Extension Service. We're going to have her in every.
So once a month?
Actually twice a month.
Okay.
We're going to have her on the second and fourth Friday of each month here in the studio. We're going to be talking about growing things. Last week she brought in some samples of nut grass.
Okay.
Wow. And we talked about that and how to get rid of it. And other things you should be. Well, yeah, you want to get rid of that nut grass.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's invasive.
Yeah.
But and other things you can do in your yard as well. So tune in and catch Jessica and figure out things to do in your yard, in your lawn, in your garden.
Well, on a more serious note, you know who else is going to be coming on a regular basis to keep us informed in the community, and that's going to be Paige Leonard from Crime Stoppers.
Yes.
She's going to start next week coming, maybe it's this week. I think she's coming this week. And she'll start coming once a week to talk about the crime of the week, what's going on in our community, help us, help others, keep your eyes open for certain things going on.
Yeah.
And so I think that'll help all of us stay informed of the local crime that's going on, and we can help one another turn in when we see something suspicious going on in our area. Then the Crime Stoppers can actually take it and run with it.
Excellent.
And solve those crimes.
Paige is doing a great job with
She is.
Crime Stoppers. Okay. Well, coming up, we're going to hear from DAVIN MADDEN, our Wayne County Health Director here, and he's going to be talking about community collaboration. Also, Sherry Archibald of the Paramount Theater is with us, and we're going to hear what's going on at the Paramount.
She's got so many things lined up for the fall that will give you lots of opportunities to pick and choose what you want to be a part of and see this fall.
Very good.
She'll give us some details. Stay tuned.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Today we're talking with DAVIN Madden, Wayne County Health Director. DAVIN, thanks for being with us.
Always a pleasure.
Probably one of the most favorite topics of anyone to talk about, whether it's with family or total strangers, is how you doing. And if you really want to know how someone's doing, you tell them, I really want to know how you're doing. Are you healthy? How's your health? How do you feel? Do you feel okay? Now, what do we do to make our health here in Wayne County better? Because that's everybody wants to feel good. Everybody wants to feel better. So what are we doing right or what are we doing wrong?
Well, what we're doing right is that people are getting involved more in activities with their community, and that's what we're trying to improve on. And we can do a better job of that. And part of that starts with community collaboration. Mm-hmm. And that's, you hear these buzzwords about system changes, environmental changes, and that's where we are now. They're not new words, they're the new buzzwords that we're using.
Buzzwords.
For system changes, environmental changes.
Okay. So where are the buzzwords coming from, and why do we feel we need to use these buzzwords? Because
at the rate we're going with obesity, with chronic diseases, our current system of treating conditions versus preventing conditions has got to change. We've got to turn that boat around. We've got to get back on the front end of these things, and part of that starts with community involvement, community collaboration.
Okay, so all right, well, pardon me for interrupting, but let me just throw out, we have to take some personal responsibility.
Absolutely.
And that's where it starts, but once we have the initiative and we feel like we have that personal responsibility, it needs to go a step further into the community. What do you mean by community involvement or community collaboration?
Well, because the problems that we're running into now are community-based. I mean, it has a person's lifestyle is different than it used to be. It's not family-centered. We're out, people are working, families are working, people are more involved in the community a lot of times, in community and social groups and clubs, and you spend your time either at home, at work, school, or at one of your community events. And if all three of those aren't working together to benefit and improve your health, then somewhere there's a breakdown in the system. And that's where community collaboration comes in. It's that extended family where everybody plays an integral role in your well-being.
Okay, so I'm home, my family and I work toward becoming more healthy. We eat right, we maybe exercise. But once you're at work or once you're out with at the church or you're at the club or
how many times do you eat cake if you don't eat cake at home, for example? Let's just use it as an example. A lot of people eat healthy at home because their family is healthy, but when they come to work, that work group doesn't support that healthy lifestyle.
Oh man.
And the cakes come in.
Yes, sir.
And those things change over how people view, and so you develop these behaviors that are kind of working against each other. And community involvement is collaborating together with multiple community agencies, multiple groups to try to build more of a system-wide approach to how we do things, how we involve people, so that wherever you are, it's a consistent message, and that's how you change behaviors. Because you don't change behaviors at just one segment of your life. You'll have to do it through the whole process.
Okay. We have mentioned, as you and I have talked before, there's certain things I really enjoy. I love popcorn, too salty. I love ice cream, too sweet, too much sugar. I love a lot of things that are not necessarily considered to be good for you. So when you, say, get to work one morning and somebody brought a box of donuts, or when there's somebody celebrating a birthday and they have cake, and then the next day somebody brings pie, and then the next day somebody brings breads. How do you stop that cycle? Or do you?
You don't stop the cycle, because that's part of the network building and the social rapport that you're building with your colleagues at work.
I'm glad to hear we don't stop that.
But why can't we bring something different? You're still going through the traditions, you're still going through the bonding, but it's the belief that you got to bring donuts, that you have to bring ice cream or cake.
Well, I like cauliflower too, but I don't see anybody bringing cauliflower to work.
Well, you just may have started a trend.
Hey, that'll work.
I don't know if that's going to go over very well.
No.
We'll put it to the test, though.
Celery? I love celery.
No, what it is historically, though, we got to get back to historically. We've gotten to a point where we're siloed in how we do a lot of things with our community. Okay. Everybody has a role to play, but we've gotten where that role is not integrated. Where we're overlapping in those roles, where there's actually some good consistency, because that's what we're looking at now in our environment is not just changing the problem. We have to change the cause of the problem.
Okay.
And we've got to get back to changing behaviors, and people have to be accountable, but the community has to be supportive of that change. Because a person can have all the good intentions in the world, but if nothing around them supports the change, they won't change.
So the person who breaks the ice, and instead of bringing cake to work, brings cooked veggies.
Fruit salad.
Fruit salad, yeah. Or fruits. Bring a apple something.
Yeah.
Not apple pie necessarily.
Well, if they do, call me. I'll be there just to make sure that they handle it right.
All right, a community collaboration. Work on that. Give that some thought. Give that some deep thought, because this man has given it some deep thought. Thank you. DAVIN Madden, our health director here in Wayne County. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate it.
I'm Wayne Alley for WGTV. Today we welcome to our studio Rosemary Blizzard, who is our new Board of Elections Director here in Wayne County. Thank you for being here.
Glad to be here.
Okay, I hear there's an election coming up.
Yes, there is.
All
34 days to be exact.
34 days until November 6th, I believe it is.
correct.
Of course, now I want to ask you about, we'll start with, first of all, tell us a little bit about Rosemary Blizzard.
Okay. I'm currently living in Lenoir County with my family.
Okay.
And glad to be here all
right.
of 2 weeks.
Been here a total of 2 weeks already.
weeks. 2
Wow.
weeks.
Okay. And as Director of Board of Elections, how did you get into this business?
It was an accident. I was
Okay.
teaching high school social studies in
Okay.
Duplin County, which is where I grew up.
Right. Okay.
And they had a vacancy at the Duplin County office, and for whatever reason, I decided on a whim to apply, and have been here ever since.
How about that? And when was that? How long ago was that?
That was July of 1999.
Wow. Well, you must enjoy it.
I do. It's a lot of problem solving. It's never dull.
Oh, isn't that true?
There's always something going on.
You ever miss teaching?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is good too.
it is. And it's a lot like teaching. There's a lot of training that lets me get my teaching training put to use.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Let's talk about, first of all, early voting. Now, a lot of people may not understand exactly how that works. Explain, if you will, early voting. What does
Okay,
that
well,
mean?
we like to call it one-stop voting.
One-stop voting.
One-stop
Yeah.
voting. What that is it is an extension of absentee voting. So while you are going in person to a site designated in the county, rather than getting a ballot mailed to you at home, it is absentee voting, and that's what a lot of people don't realize.
Right.
But one-stop voting will start October the 18th.
Right.
We will have 3 sites going that day through November the 3rd. We will open up 2 additional sites the 28th of October.
Okay.
The 3 main sites will be at the library. They'll be at the Woodman of the World building and a church in Dudley.
Okay. Now, I believe the Woodman of the World is on 117 North.
That is correct.
Okay. The Wayne County Public Library.
It's our most popular site.
Right. And then there's a church in the Dudley area, and we'll have that for you, information for you a little later
I
on.
believe it's the first congregational
Congregational church. Right.
Yes.
And so, how does someone one-stop vote? You must be registered.
Absolutely.
You go into one of these 3 locations, only one of these 3 locations,
That's correct.
and vote on a ballot. And then what happens to those ballots?
Okay, those ballots are returned to our office each night securely. They are locked for security. And those ballots are not tabulated until election night.
As an absentee vote.
As an absentee vote.
Right. Now, what about absentee voting?
Absentee voting, if you are in a situation where you just simply don't want to go through the lines or go to any of our early one-stop sites, you can request an absentee ballot.
Do you have to, say, produce a doctor's note or have a valid, if you just feel that you cannot fight the crowd, or that for some reason you're not able to go to the polls that particular day?
You do not have to have an excuse. It's called no excuse absentee voting now. A long time ago you needed an excuse, and
Right.
you don't any longer. We've sent out about 600 absentee ballots already just for our civilian, our regular voters, and we're about 150 military.
All right. Well, tell me about that. How does the military? How do they vote when they're deployed overseas? How does that work?
Now, military voters get a few more perks, as we like to call it, with absentee ballots.
Rightly so, I must say.
Right, and
Yes.
they can have their ballots emailed to them, and they can return them to us via email or secure fax line as well.
Very good. Now, the one-stop voting and absentee voting begin at the same time?
No, absentee voting, as far as having a ballot mailed to you, began September the 6th.
Oh, I see. All right. But then the one-stop is on October 18th.
October the 18th. And I want to make one thing clear. You
Yes.
don't have to be registered in order to participate at one-stop voting. North Carolina has a program called same-day registration that is in effect during one-stop voting. So if you're not registered, although we would sure appreciate it if you would do that ahead of time, you
Cuts down
can
on
do it at one-stop.
Yeah. Okay. So you can vote, you can go in to vote without being registered, but you have to register before you vote.
That's correct.
Okay.
And if you don't take care of that at one-stop, you don't get that luxury on Election Day.
Okay, so everybody who votes on Election Day, November 6th, must already be registered.
Correct.
Now, what if you have a question about whether you're registered or not?
They have two big, main, fast resources, and one would be to call our office. And we'd rather field 1,000 phone calls now
Right.
than 1,000 phone calls on Election Day.
919-731-1411.
They also can search their voter registration as well as the status of their absentee ballot on online
Right.
through the State Board of Elections website.
And you have a link to that site on your website.
That is correct.
That's at waynegov.com/BOE. In fact, you have a tremendous amount of information on your website.
That is correct, and we're going to be adding more and more. We're hoping to get a list of our absentee voters up, as well as some other, as we get requests for information, we like to share those just in case there's somebody else out there who needs that same information.
Now, how does someone find out where they vote?
Again, they can do that by calling our office. We'll be glad to give them that information, and they can also search that online
Okay.
through the State Board website.
So they go online and through a link through your website, go to the state site and type in their address.
Type in their name and their date of birth, and it will show not only their voting history, but where they would go to vote, and they can download sample ballots from there.
Okay. Name, date of birth, get your voting history, get your name and address and precinct number or district number, and go from there.
Right, and then, again, there's also sample ballots. So if they're curious about what they'll see when they go to either the one-stop site or their polling place on Election Day, they can download it and print it.
And the ballot is for their specific location.
Correct. Your
That's great.
address determines what ballot you get.
Okay. That's great.
All right.
So how has the process gone so far this election cycle?
So far, we are running very smoothly. Most of the phone calls that I'm getting throughout the day are pretty standard for presidential elections. People worrying about whether or not they're registered and getting their registrations updated if they've moved.
Right.
One of the best things that I can tell folks to make their election as smooth as possible is to please double check their voter registration ahead of time. Even if they think it's right, and it most likely is, if they've moved or if it's just been a while since they voted, pick up that phone and give us a call.
Call and double check,
And double check it.
because if they go to the polls and they're not registered where they say they're registered or where they think they're registered, that creates all kinds of problems.
It can create a little more paperwork, but the beauty is we train our poll workers to never turn anyone away. And we have what we call a provisional ballot, which a lot of people are a little fearful of that, but I can tell you they are a wonderful thing. And they're wonderful because it lets you get your vote in. It gives us a little longer to research and make sure that your registration is valid.
Okay.
And as long as that research proves that you are a registered qualified voter in the county of Wayne, we're going to count it. And that's something that they should not fear. They should embrace those provisional ballots because it's a layer of security for us and it's a layer of security for them to make sure they get a chance to vote.
Very good. Now, I go to the polls, I go to vote, and as I get out of my car, I'm swarmed by people with signs, people beating me over the head saying, vote for my candidate, come on now, you got to do this, you got to do that. What are the rules here?
Well, anyone who is at the polling site who is what we call electioneering, and that's what
Electioneering,
the
yeah.
electioneering, they are to be 50 feet from the entrance to the polling place.
So if you can get to within 50 feet quickly,
You're safe.
you're safe.
That's
No,
correct.
come on now. It's if you're within 50 feet. But now, these people are not they should not be aggressive, and they should not
That is
accost
correct.
people.
That is correct.
That is because all that does is turn people off and anger people. So what they should be doing is, if they have a candidate to talk about, professionally and businesslike, approach a potential voter. And if the potential voter says, "Sure, I'd love to talk to you," then that's fine. But if the potential voter says, "No, go away," go away.
From a personal standpoint, I would simply agree with that, because I don't believe there are any candidates out there who would endorse
No.
anything other than professional behavior.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, voting day officially is November 6th.
That is correct.
And from that point, after the votes are not tabulated, but after the votes go in, what happens then after the polls close?
Okay. Well, I want voters to realize that the polls will close at 7:30. However, if you're in line at 7:30, we will process you. We will get you through and get you to vote. But you've got to be in line at 7:30 when that happens.
You got to be in line. You're not going to hold the door open for anybody.
That's correct. At 7:30, you got to be in line. Once we get every voter, the last voter in line who was in line at 7:30 through the door, the precinct officials will begin to tabulate the results from at their polling site. They'll be gathering up their supplies and signing off on this paper and that paper, and they'll bring it back to our office. And from there, we will download the results that they bring us and have that displayed online, just as we've done over the last several years. And you can come on down to our office and take a look, or you can sit right at home with your computer or your laptop, your iPad. I've done that before.
Right.
And look at results.
So, from the comfort of your own home, you can find out where your candidate stands, win, lose, draw, whatever.
Unofficially.
Unofficially. Then, when is the canvass done?
Okay, we will spend the time between the 6th and the 16th looking at making sure we've reconciled everything, that everybody's information is put in and correct and as it should be, and verifying that the totals are in correctly. And then on the 16th at 11 a.m. the board will meet, and we will go over the results of everything, and they will certify that those totals are correct as they know them to be, and we will send those results up to the State Board of Elections.
Oh boy, there you go. And of course, we all know Gary Bartlett is from here in Wayne County, our State Board of Elections Director.
That's correct.
So, Rosemary, how do things look and feel so far? Have you had, what is the most you mentioned the most common question you have is about voter registration. What are some of the other questions you might get when people call you?
Well, right now I'm getting a lot of calls about they've submitted their absentee request, and they're just wanting to make sure that we've received it, and you know, looking when they can expect their ballots. And right now, when we receive your request, assuming that all of the information is there and complete, we are processing that ballot within 48 hours. And that means going out in the mail.
All right.
So.
Again, if anyone has any questions, you can go to waynegov.com/BOE or call Rosemary Blizzard or one of her staff at the Board of Elections office at 919-731-1411. 731-1411. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Glad you're here. I'm Wayne Alley for WGTV.
Good morning and welcome to WGTV Today. I'm Kim Best, your host. Today I have with me a familiar face. It's Sherry Archibald, director of the Paramount Theater. Good morning.
Good morning.
We have so much going on at the Paramount Theater. Wayne and I talk about it on a daily basis.
Thank you. I hear you in the mornings talking about it, and I'm so glad. There is a lot going on.
We are so appreciative here in our community to have such a fine theater, first and foremost, but then for you all to arrange such a diverse mix of local things that happen with local wonderful talent, but also bringing people from all over the world and all over the nation here to Goldsboro to perform.
That's
so
true.
we have a really unique mix of talent. So why don't you tell us, Sherry, some of the exciting things we can look forward to seeing here in the rest of October.
Yeah, the rest of October. We do have a lot of things. And this is kind of falling into, this is our really busy season this fall, and then it just goes right into spring. So it is almost a every weekend thing.
Y'all are booked pretty solid, as you always are.
We really are.
Yeah.
And what I'm really finding interesting is not only are we booked every weekend, but we're kind of doubling on some of the days that there's something in the morning and then a totally different something in the afternoon. And then something the next day that's totally different again. And so our texts are saying, Oh my gosh, it's a great thing. It's a great problem.
It
But they're
is.
just, it's a lot of resetting and re-preparing and repositioning
For
of lights.
totally different
Exactly.
venues, yeah.
Different events just require different things. But coming up, we do have an event called Those Nosy Neighbors on October the 20th, which is a Christian comedy. I actually have a huge poster they just delivered to us recently in our lobby that looks hilarious.
Oh, I'm sure. It sounds funny.
It does sound funny, and I have been getting phone calls. I sent out a press release on it, and so phone calls are coming in to buy tickets, and we are selling those tickets at the theater.
Okay, so you're selling it for them.
Yes,
okay.
we are. But basically, the setting is, the backyard. It's going to look like an outdoor setting, and those nosy neighbors are. It's really looking at the gossiping that can happen across the yards, across the fences, and it's looking at it from a Christian perspective. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's going to be wonderful music.
Oh, is it? Okay, so it's a musical. And
it is.
So who's hosting this?
It is a musical, and M&M Productions is bringing this event here, and it is a group out of Clinton, North Carolina.
Okay.
So it's exciting to be able to bring.
Yeah.
I love that we have
Little
such
bit out of the
wonderful
county.
local talent, but also folks are recognizing that it's not that far. Also, that they
Our
can
next
come
door
and
neighbors.
utilize us and
Yeah.
come to the theater. So that event is coming up. It's at 7 p.m. on October the 20th.
Do you know how much tickets are?
I do. They're $15 each, and
Okay.
they're $10 for seniors or for children. And it's appropriate for any age. I did ask that question too.
Okay. So those nosy neighbors, and that is the 20th.
20th.
20th of October.
October 20th.
All right, great. So right after that, the 21st.
The very next day, East Carolina University is bringing back their symphony. They were here with us last year in September, and we had a 84-piece instrument orchestra on the
Oh, my
stage.
goodness.
This year, if I remember correctly the numbers, I think it was 52-piece because we're also having a 40-member choir.
Oh,
so you know this is going
wow.
to sound phenomenal.
Oh my goodness.
In East Carolina, we've been doing a lot of
Yes,
partnering
you
with
have.
them. You've done some interviewing with their director. They are so talented and working so hard at producing very talented young men and women, and it's just nice to be able to provide that other venue for them.
Yeah.
They do a lot of great things, of course, at ECU, but
right, in their theaters.
they love to be able to bring their young men and women to other locations so they can experience a different theater, different settings, different people. So
it's good for us and them.
it's exactly right. It's a good partnership.
It is, yeah.
The foundation is the one that is preparing this, and they're bringing this group here. They really like working with ECU as well.
Well, if I'm
That's
not
at 3.
mistaken, I think there may be a couple people either in the symphony or in the choir that are here locally from Goldsboro.
Oh,
we'll
you may
see,
be
but
right.
I'm almost positive there are. We'll talk more about it a little closer to
Okay,
time.
good.
But I'm going to find out, and I have a sneaky feeling there's, I think, one local girl who's actually in the choir.
Wonderful. Oh, and this is going to be so nice
It
to
is.
have the choir with the instruments.
Oh gosh, and that'll be different, different than anything we've had before.
It is.
So that's
And
at 3 in the afternoon.
It's at 3 in the afternoon on Sundays, and a lot of the comments that we heard after last year's symphony was they compared to the North Carolina Symphony.
Right.
I mean, they were very good. And it's $15 a ticket. You cannot beat that.
Absolutely
So
not.
we will have those tickets online also, but you
Okay.
can call the theater to get your tickets also. Saves you the convenience fees. We can process them for you over the phone. But yes, that's a 3 o'clock in the afternoon event.
All right, so that's probably a Sunday. Is that right?
It is a Sunday.
Okay, Sunday.
Mhm, the
So
21st at 3
you
in the
wait till that
afternoon.
next weekend, and what do we have then?
Then we have the 27th, we have the North Carolina Theater Conference returning. This is their second year with us. We are excited about hosting this event again. And I think we've talked on WGTV about this with Sarah and the
Yes,
Arts
the
Council.
partnership between the Arts Council and the
Yes.
Paramount Theater.
It's been a wonderful partnership that she and I have been able to work together to bring the theater conference here. And what this is a high school festival. It is students who are competing. I don't think they like to call it a competition.
Yeah, but it really is.
It kind of is. So they are performing
We'll use
on
that
the
term.
stage, and so it's basically one high school after another doing different types of performances,
Right.
so that they can be rated and, of course, receive accolades and awards for their performance. Goldsboro High School participated last year and won the comedy sector of that.
Wonderful.
So we are looking forward to having this particular event back again. It's all day. It starts at 8 in the morning, and there will be high schools just going and rotating.
one right after the
one
next.
right after the other.
Well, I know they have something very similar to this in Raleigh.
Okay.
where a lot of their local schools in their area do the same thing. So with this conference, they're coming from all over the state.
They are all over the state, and they have actually several others. They have another one in Eastern North Carolina, which is at Washington.
Okay.
And then they have 2 of them in the western part of the state. So again, this is our 2nd year doing it, and I'm so glad that we're bringing them back. Our technicians love it because
I'm sure.
it's such a variety of things that they get to see. And what happens is these students, they come in and they get a certain amount of time and only a certain amount of space, a 10 by 10 space that they can put all of their props in.
So they have to create in that one space, and everybody has the exact same amount.
Exactly.
How interesting.
Anything larger than that, they're going to be
out.
disqualified. So they have standards that they have to stand up to and make sure that everything is ready to go. And
Well, can the public come see this?
absolutely, it is
Okay.
open to the public. It is a free event.
Okay, good.
But so things are just.
And that is the 27th. Okay,
That's the 22nd,
is that
27th.
And that's a Saturday?
It is a Saturday and it's all day. And I think it's the same day as the chili cook-off.
It is, actually. There's several things
So,
going on that day.
Yes, and that's Jazz on George.
It's a busy downtown.
So downtown is really
Gonna
going
be
to be
hustling and bustling that day.
revolving around. In fact, I said, you know, we need to make sure that we're going to tell all of those students they can hit the streets and
They
cross
take
the
a break
street,
and go test
go
some
have
chili
some
and
chili.
put in some coins for some votes.
That's exactly right.
And then the last weekend, or the last event we're going to talk about today is Ebb Scrooge by Stage Struck. So I've been talking a little bit about
Good.
that, so you give us a brief overview.
I'm really excited, especially when our folks see the interview that we've done with the kids and with the producers and the director. We had them reluctantly. We pulled them on to do
Those
the interview
producers
too.
are volunteers and they don't like to
They
get in front of
don't.
the camera.
Of course, the director is also, he's there and he likes to get in front
Yes,
of the
he
camera.
does.
Gene. Gene does a wonderful job. They all do. They work so hard. Those parents are committed and
They
do
are.
a lot to get the students on there.
And
to
that
get
is
them
the
busy.
9th, 10th, and 11th of
Yes,
November?
it is. It's
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But you'll be hearing from the kids too, who have a wonderful Southern accent because it is Ebb Scrooge,
That's
a Southern
right.
fried carol.
That's right.
They
A
did a
funny
great
little
job.
twist on an old carol. Well, looking forward to hearing their interview coming up soon. And Wayne and I will actually be going on location to Stage Struck. Once their
Wonderful.
sets are done, before they move into the Paramount, we're going to go do an on-location interview with some of the kids and let you sort of see a few more faces other than just the main
Well,
characters.
that's good because our viewers are going to love seeing the amazing job that they do with their props and
Oh,
the
yes.
sets. It's,
Oh, yeah.
They put forth a lot of effort, and it's an amazing job.
A lot of
they do.
people put a lot of time and effort in those, along with all of you and your staff at the Paramount. So thank you for what you do. Thanks for continuing to bring in good additional people for us to see and hear in Wayne County, and along with our local talent. We appreciate it. And if you want to have additional information, go to GoldsboroParamount.com. You can get basic information. You can also purchase tickets by calling, or you can get them online. If you have any additional questions, feel free to call the Paramount Theater. I hope you learned more about what's happening in your community. I'm Kim Best, your host. We'll see you again tomorrow.
We're back on WGTV today, and we're here on this Monday morning. It is the 15th of October.
It is halfway through the month, Wayne.
Woo, can you believe that?
I know. It's time flies by all the time, but especially seems like it in the fall.
I know, it certainly does.
We'll blink and Christmas will be here.
Ho, ho, ho. Okay, tomorrow, Tuesday, the Friends of the Willowdale Cemetery is a new organization, and they're going to have their meeting starting at 5 o'clock tomorrow evening at the Wayne County Museum at 116 North William Street. They're going to be talking about preserving the cemetery, the Willowdale Cemetery, Goldsboro's oldest, and they're going to be talking about their organization as a new organization here in Wayne County. So this is tomorrow night at the Wayne County Museum on North William Street, the new Friends of the Willowdale Cemetery organization. They start at 5 o'clock.
That's right. Well, Wayne, also, the Alzheimer's Walk is going to be Saturday, October the 20th. That is at Wayne Community College.
Very good.
Teams are still needed for this Saturday's Noose Region Alzheimer's Walk. Friends, neighbors, colleagues, or church groups are invited to walk on behalf of families dealing with Alzheimer's disease or dementia. A team meeting will be held a little bit closer to the actual date in the auditorium at Wayne Memorial Hospital. For anyone interested in learning more about the upcoming event, you can call Missy Harris at 919-734-7011. And that is the Alzheimer's Walk, Saturday the 20th at Wayne Community College.
Outstanding. Coming up on the 19th of October, which is the latter part of this week, an all-day trip to the Antietam battlefield will be taking place. It costs $100, and if you are into history at all, this is just a fantastic trip and a fantastic opportunity for you to visit Antietam.
What is the cost of that, Wayne? Do you remember?
Yeah, the cost is $100. They leave the Goldsboro area about 7 o'clock. They get home at 7 o'clock that evening. So it's one day, and you go and you come back in the same day. But anybody who understands or knows anything at all about the Civil War knows knows about Antietam. So
that's nice that they're lining that up and organizing it, though.
It is.
It's a nice way to be able to travel around and see and hear history about our community.
Yes, yes, indeed. So if you have any questions, you can talk to someone at the Foundation of Wayne Community College. Call the college and ask for the foundation. Or here's the number, 739-2017. 739-2017.
All right.
All right.
Well, Wayne, Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is the big movie that's going to be featured at the Paramount Theater coming up.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Well, I hope everybody's not, and I hope they'll come out and see the show Thursday, October the 25th at 7 o'clock at the Paramount Theater. They're going to show the movie. They've been doing some of that recently, showing pretty interesting movies that, of course, are season-oriented. And that is at the Paramount Theater, like I said, Thursday, October 25th. They'll have popcorn and drinks and all kinds of goodies.
Popcorn.
They're going to have some activities and things that go along with the Ghostbusters movie, shown at the Paramount Theater.
Well, I gotta go. I'm a popcorn fanatic.
Are you?
Oh, God. Popcorn and ice cream, not together.
Right.
But,
Oh.
oh, yeah, I love it. I love it.
What else is going on?
Well, I'm glad you asked because I have today's almanac here.
Okay, well, tell us.
On today's almanac, October 15th, today is White Cane Safety Day. White cane used by unsighted people?
Yes.
Unsighted folks?
Yes.
White Cane Safety Day. Today is also International Day of Rural Women.
Okay.
Thank you for what you do. We have a large rural community.
Yes, we do.
Wayne County is rural.
Yeah.
I mean, Wayne County is mostly agriculture and rural. So we thank you for that. One of my heroes was born this day. Actually, he was not a hero, but he portrayed a hero of mine, and that is Gordon Nance was born this day in 1903. And if you don't know Gordon Nance, you may remember him by the name Wild Bill Elliott. Wild Bill Elliott was a movie star, born in Missouri this day, 1903. Went on to star as, well, he did a couple of things. He started out in westerns as Wild Bill Hickok, and then became the Red Ryder.
Yeah, I've heard.
And as Red Ryder, he was the first movie cowboy as Wild Bill Elliott, the first movie cowboy to wear his guns backwards. The handle, the handle of the guns is always facing out.
And why did he do that?
Well, just something different.
Okay.
Just something different.
Just to make himself stand out.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So, you know, okay. Anyway, that was Wild Bill Elliott, born this day. He died in 1965. I Love Lucy premiered this day, 1951.
One of my favorites.
Yes, everybody loves Lucy. Starring, of course, Lucille Ball, Desi Arnaz.
You said 1951?
51 is when it first appeared on TV. On CBS, new episodes were produced for 6 years. And CBS rerun episodes through 1961. Syndicated reruns are still playing
Absolutely,
on TV.
every day.
And you know the little boy that played Little Ricky was not Little Ricky. He was an actor. Yeah.
So she had her real husband, but not her son.
She had a real husband on there, but not her son on TV.
Okay.
But that little kid, who would have known?
Yeah.
I mean, that kid was a drummer. And anyway. Hey, Babaloo, you know?
He fit right in.
In 2001... Here's a story for you. 2001, just 11 years ago today, a lady by the name of Elaine Crame of Lambourn, England. She was a taxi driver. She drove a cab in Lambourn, England. She had been pestered for years by the garage manager, who was in charge of dispatching the cabs, to marry him. He had been after her for 17 years to marry him.
Well, that's persistent.
That is persistent. She finally gave in.
Okay.
She said, I'm tired of this. Yes. Yes, let's get married. 17 years.
17 long years.
Yeah. She and her husband later said, you know, it just goes to show you, you never give up. Never give up. All right.
Wow.
You love or basketball?
There you
All
go.
right. Birthdays today include Fergie,
Oh, okay.
Duchess Sarah Ferguson is 53 years today.
Sarah Ferguson.
Sarah Ferguson, yes.
There's two different Fergies going on here, so.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Duchess Sarah Ferguson.
Yeah.
And there's another Fergie?
Yeah, she's a singer.
No, I don't know her.
A lot of
Is it
people
really?
do, though, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, what do I know? I'm an old man. Anyway, baseball's Jim Palmer. I talked to him some years ago. What a fascinating guy for many reasons, but he is 67 today. Baseball star indeed. Linda Lavin played Alice on
she sure
TV.
did. That was a good show.
It was. Very good show. Very talented. And she sings beautifully. She did a lot of Broadway. She's 67 today. She's 75 today, excuse me. 75. Penny Marshall.
Yes.
Is having a birthday. She is 70 today, of Laverne and Shirley fame, and then other things, and a very talented director.
That's what I hear.
Movie
I saw her
director.
on an interview recently, and they were talking about how she's directing a lot of movies.
A lot of movies and a lot of TV as well. But also a birthday today for one of the Jackson Five. That's Tito having a birthday.
How old is he?
58 years old. Can you believe that?
The Jackson 5 have aged.
Tito is 58 years old.
Wow. My goodness. Well, are you a runner?
I run to the refrigerator. That's where I run.
Well, for those that are,
Yes.
we have a HOWL Halloween 5K
Oh,
run or walk Saturday, October 27th,
yeah.
and that is at Stony Creek Park. And let's see, it says 5K run, walk, and a 1-mile dog trot. So bring your animals. For more information, call Goldsboro Parks and Recreation at 739-7484. That is a Halloween 5K run, walk, or 1-mile dog trot.
Oh.
There you go. That is at Stony Creek Park. That park stays so busy.
I know.
They've got a
Always
lot
something.
going on. And Jazz on George, same day, October 27th. 2 events going on.
boy.
Jazz on George, October 27th. Let's see, free jazz concert event held outside featuring North Carolina jazz legends. You can call or look on the DGDC.org website. That is the website, actually. DGDC.org.
That's right. So you don't type in dgdc.org to find out where the website is.
That is the website.
That is the website.
That's right. So 2 events happening in one day.
Wow.
Run a little while, go sit down and listen to a little jazz.
Wow.
That's right.
Cool.
That is the 27th.
That's great.
Yep.
Kim, we're out of time.
We are.
Where does it go?
I guess we talk a lot.
Speak for yourself.
I think you all would agree. But we have to. We're telling you what is happening in your community. We hope we're keeping you informed of what's happening. But if you have an event that you would like for us to help publicize, email it to WGTV@waynegov.com, and we will help you promote that event here on the WGTV show. And we are all about telling you what's happening in your community, keeping you informed, and hoping that we have been successful with that.
That's right. Join us tomorrow morning again. In fact, every morning, Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock for WGTV Today. Until then, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. See you tomorrow.